Monday Night Movie Club. Here we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. Now, I have a special treat for you guys. We have my best friend's dad, Mr. Clyde Bryan, who is the film focuser on Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, and you guessed it, Back to the Future 3. Mr. Clyde Bryan, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, and I can't believe it's been 40 years since it went into theaters. So yeah, time flies like an arrow, and fruit flies like a banana. So
I bet. So we're gonna hop right into Hill Valley, maybe even a little bit further back in LA. How did you get put on this amazing franchise? What did you have to do? Tell us your story, Clyde.
well, I had moved out to California in the middle 70s, and in the late 70s, I met Dean Cundy, who was the cameraman on all three of the Back to the Future movies.
Mhm.
We did a couple of projects together and became. We ended up doing like 30 movies together in the space of our career. So I was working with him then. We had gone to um, a couple of years before, we had gone to Mexico and done Romancing the Stone.
Nice.
And we had done several John Carpenter movies together. And when Dean got hired to shoot Back to the Future, there I was, part of his team, and was welcomed on board.
Very cool. So you hooked up with Dean. You ended up meeting with Bob Zemeckis afterwards. Uh, where did you guys end up starting? Because you did a whole first part with Eric Stoltz, right?
Yes, yes. We started the picture in late '84. Sometime in, I can't remember just the dates, but there is, Michael Klastron has written a really excellent series of books about the making of all three of the Back to the Future pictures. And he has it broken down day by day, what we shot and where we were. So all of you that might be interested, it's worth looking into that. So we shot for 6 weeks with Eric. Um, I have to admit that when I read the script, I thought it was one of the best scripts I'd ever read. I thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
The studio did not want to make the movie to begin with. Time travel movies historically have never made money, had
Mhm.
never made money. Um, Several studios turned the picture down because they thought it was too risque for someone to go back and date and make out with his mother. Uh, um, so Universal picked it up, and Zemeckis had written stuff that Steven Spielberg had directed. Um, and so Amblin picked the picture up and through Universal, and we started the picture. There was a huge talent scout to find Marty McFly. We tested numerous people. We actually did screen tests on a lot of the big name actors, or up and coming actors, I should say, at that time. C. Thomas Howell was one that was very close in the running in the beginning with. Universal thought that Eric would be the next teen idol.
Gotcha.
He had done a movie that got a lot of press. He had done Mask, not the Jim Carrey movie, but the
Right.
one with Cher.
Mhm.
They thought he was going to be the next big thing. Um, he and Zemeckis never gelled.
Mhm.
He was a fine actor, was always there, was always on time, etc. But just did not understand the humor that the two Bobs had put in the original script. So we shot for 6 weeks. When Zemeckis convinced Spielberg that they needed to start over, they had to figure out that was going to cost a bunch of money, and Bob Zemeckis and Dean Cundy came up with the brilliant idea of only shooting the shots uh, that contained Michael Fox,
Mhm.
and using the footage from the that we'd already shot in the first 6 weeks. If Marty McFly was not in the shot, there's lots of scenes that their reactions, the other cast reactions, are to Eric Stoltz and not to Michael J. Fox.
Oh, all right. And now you said a
So,
lot also, from us talking before, a lot of Marty's shots were at night because he was under contract from Family Ties, right?
right. Well, when the script was actually written um, with Michael Fox in mind. Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale really saw him as the star of this picture and really wanted him. Michael Fox was under contract at another studio doing a television series, which was very popular.
Hmm.
Um, in fact, I can remember when they said we're starting the movie over and we've brought in Michael Fox. I didn't know who that was. Uh, um, so yes, he worked all day long at doing Family Ties.
Hmm.
And at 6 p.m., someone from the Universal picked him up. I think it was at Paramount, put him in a car, drove him up to Universal, and he worked from 6 p.m. till midnight. When he would then get in a car, be taken home to be picked up at 5:30 or whatever the next morning to go to work on Family Ties again. So um, he was an exhausted young man.
Yeah, I bet. Now, you talked with us last time too about Crispin Glover because we had Jeffrey Weissman with us too. Could you just elaborate a little bit on that whole snafu from part two?
Um, Well, there's a whole bunch of stories about that. I guess the gist of it was that he thought that Crispin thought that he was irreplaceable.
Hmm.
Um, the writers, the director Bob Zemeckis and others decided that they owned the character,
Hmm.
and they could have someone else play the character.
Hmm.
So I always heard that he asked for more money than they thought was um, what he should earn,
Sure.
and they said no. And then um, Jeffrey got the part and did and wore makeup for the whole thing
Hmm.
and played like he was Crispin Glover or George McFly.
Yeah. Wow. And then later on, Crispin went on to like kind of put a lawsuit together and ended up now they've got special like clauses in actors' contracts because of that whole thing, right?
Yes, yes, because of that. Yes. So I'm sure it was very contentious. And I also heard rumors that there was that Crispin settled for some amount of money out of court that undisclosed, they, never to be spoken of again kind of deal.
So this
But
conversation's never happening, Clyde. We're not speaking about it right now, okay?
no, we're not talking about it now. Well, I can't tell you any details because I can't tell you what
Yeah.
they paid
Yeah,
or why they paid or what the
sure.
what the court ruling was. But I just know that he was not in this second and third picture.
Yeah. So for 40 years, this movie's become a phenomenon. It had three awesome entries. It had a cartoon, has action figures. The DeLorean is iconic.
Yep.
Did
It
you
also
have
had a
any?
ride at Universal Studios tour for years and
Yeah,
years and years.
exactly. Did you have any idea of making any of these three pictures that this would be such a phenomenon?
When you decide you're going to be in the entertainment business and do what I did, you always, somewhere in your deepest heart of desires, you hope that you do a movie that will be remembered when you're gone. People still watch It's a Wonderful Life, and that was made um, 90 years ago or something. I
Sure.
mean, a long, not 90, but close to 80 years ago anyway. So no, I never, when we were doing it, we thought were doing a movie that would be very successful at the box office. A lot of people would see it. Did
Hmm.
we think it would do what it's become? Did we think it would be the phenomenon that 40 years from now they would blow it up into IMAX and they would be showing it in theaters still?
Hmm.
No.
Well, right on. I'm stoked that you got to be a part of it. You have been such a tremendous help with us keeping the movies alive. What is one thing you could depart on this movie-going audience of Back to the Future fans? What is one thing you'd like to tell them, Clyde, before we wrap up?
Wow. Put me on the spot. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I think it is timeless. I think it still works. There's there's you can watch a lot of old movies and they feel like they're dated. You don't understand them, you don't get the point of them. Um, I think Back to the Future is one of those pictures that another 40 years from now, people will still be watching it and saying, "What a great movie."
Nice.
And I'm very proud to have been a part of it.
And Clyde Bryan, we are very proud you were a part of it too. We're proud that you could be here today helping us celebrate 40 years. We hope to see you in another 40 years doing the 80th. All right.
Wow. I don't believe I'll be here in 40 years, but I'll try.
Hey, if they've got holograms of Clyde Bryan by that time, I'll dial it up. All
Oh,
right.
dial it up.
Yeah. Right on. Thank you so much, Clyde Bryan. I hope you have an amazing day, sir.
All right.